What's up, everybody? It's the word according to me, AJ Trip, and this one is about the WWE and things that I feel the WWE need to change about their product. Now, a lot of people are kind of upset with the product. I think they watch it because they're wrestling fans, and I think that they are maybe. Maybe upset's not the word. Maybe they are just a little down. I don't know. Maybe upset is the right word, but they're down. I mean, that's the word. They're down on the product. They don't like maybe some of the things that they do and everything like that, which is kind of a shame because the WWE has the most talent that they have ever had in a long time, probably ever actually, and I think you can thank Triple H for that, from bringing in outside guys from the indies and things like that, making homegrown talent from something like that. Because I think one of the things that they've done, and Triple H talked about this on SportsCenter when he's going the car wash for WrestleMania, was at ESPN, was that they go around, they look for talent. They look for the guys the NFL stars who go 2 or 3 years and have a short career in the NFL, or they go to guys who came out of college and then they get drafted by the NFL, and then they take those athletes, or they find like other people who have been doing athletic stuff, try to train. I saw a video about a while back of a MMA girl. Then she's Ukrainian or Russian, and of descent, and man, but she's like she's like she's 6'5" or something like that, and I mean, and she's just a tremendous athlete, and if she passed her tryout and they take her, I mean, she's gonna be a superstar. She's going to be a star. She is attractive. She can fight, and if they train her right and she learns how to wrestle and she becomes that good, she is going to be the next big thing, without question. She's going to put Ronda Rousey to shame. They're going to treat her like that, and it's amazing to see. I think that's all because of Triple H and what he's done. So he's brought in all this good talent, but some of us feel like maybe they're not using the talent correctly. Now, I said this in my review for Payback, that I think that we as fans, we've become maybe too smart. So we've tried to get like the inside terms, like this loss will hurt Bray Wyatt, and or he doesn't need this victory, or this and that, and to a point, I think that maybe that could be the case. Maybe that's something like that, but maybe that's not necessarily for us. Maybe we should just be trying to enjoy the product, and maybe that's what us a little bit. Maybe the reason why we don't enjoy the product is because we are worried about what's going to happen with our favorite wrestler or our favorite character or something like that. I think a lot of people are worried about Braun Strowman. This Braun Strowman has been built up as this big bad monster, and he is run roughshod over Raw since he's get drafted, since the draft, and he's in this program with Roman Reigns. And I think a lot of people are worried that he's going to take a loss to the hands of Roman Reigns, which I think at this point he already did. He took one at what was it Fastlane? He took one at Fastlane. He got his next win at Payback. So whatever the next pay-per-view event that they have, and I think they're gonna do it. I'm guessing it's Extreme Rules, but there is this great balls of fire thing that's out there right now. So I don't know which either one it is, but they're gonna have another match, I believe. And of course, Roman Reigns is gonna win because Roman Reigns is the guy. He's the number one guy in the WWE, even though he's not holding any major title. He is the number one guy. There's rumors out there that they're going to do Brock and Reigns again at WrestleMania 34. And guess who's going to win? It's going to be Reigns. Now, we can question whether or not he should be a heel or a face. I think that's the way it is. That's the way it is. But I think we need to understand that as fans that he is the guy, and he's going to go over most of the time because he is the guy. I think what we need, what we want is we want maybe a different character, especially the way it is because he just gets booed out the building. And at this point, fans hate him just because they hate him, right? They saw him becoming the next John Cena, and then they started turning on that because I think that one of the things that I think the fans need to understand is that the WWE, they know that you're not going anywhere. Ring of Honor does great stuff, but they're not big on television. TNA, they can't get past themselves, right? Billy Corgan just bought NWA. Are they going to get on television? Who knows? So your platform for national television wrestling is the WWE. Now, sure, some of you guys will stop watching over time, and you may even go away from it altogether, right? Because you're just sick and tired of it. But most of you guys are going, like me, are going to watch every Monday, going to watch every Tuesday. Some of you watch NXT every Wednesday. You might even watch Superstars and everything like that throughout the week on the network, something like that. Watch 205 Live. You watch everything, right? You will watch everything. It's because you are a die-hard wrestling fan. I mean, you're a die-hard WWE fan. You know this is where you're going to be. So they know. So you say, well, they're not listening to us. Well, they don't need to listen to you. They don't. Now, WWE has some faults as well, right? And on my list of things that WWE needs to take is that they do need to be more open-minded instead of being stubborn. And I don't know if that's just Vince or Vince trying to with the fans. Listen, the fans, there's some give and take. Maybe if the fans wouldn't just shit on everything that they want to do, maybe WWE would say, okay, well then let's listen to you. Guess what? So they listened to you with Give Divas a Chance, didn't you? Right? Didn't they? Right? You wanted the Divas, and this was before the Revolution, before all of the other girls on NXT came up, right? You wanted the Divas to have more time. They heard you, and they decided to give the Divas more time, and then they brought up Charlotte and Sasha Banks and everybody else, and now the women's division is great as it's ever was. In fact, I'll say this. I don't even think there was a women's division. There was Alundra Blaze, right? There was Alundra Blaze. And then she had it, dropped it on Nitro, and then it was gone, and Sable had it, and then it wasn't around, and then everything like that. And now what they decided to do, and again I think this might be a little bit more Triple H is doing, they decided to go out, like I mentioned, the 6'5" woman. They decided to get athletes. Now, I think this was one of the things that I said this a long time ago. One of the things I think went wrong with the women's division in the past was they went and they found models and tried to turn them into wrestlers. Now, a couple of them worked. Trish Stratus worked out big time. I would say Maria worked out pretty well as well. And of course, Nikki and Brie, the Bella twins, worked out pretty good as well. They especially since the new girls came up, Nikki and Brie, they stepped up their game big time. And of course, Brie is with Daniel Bryan, so she probably learned more from Daniel Bryan than she did from in her being with him over her training with down wherever they were at. So everything like that. So, but now I think what they've decided to do is they decided to find athletes, the athletes that could actually, who had professional wrestling training or who were athletic and who could come in and do the wrestling training, who are also very attractive, right? I mean, if you look at the women, right, you wouldn't say that there are any ugly women in World Wrestling Entertainment. No, not one. Even Nia Jax. Nia Jax was a plus size model. Now, if maybe plus size isn't your thing, but facially, gorgeous. I think she's gorgeous. So, if that's what they kind of want, if this, I think that's the way to go. If you get the athletic, talented women who are still attractive and can do their thing in the ring, and that's what you wanted, and that's what they've always, and then I think they got it. But they can go in the ring. You don't hear "show your puppies" or "ass cheeks" or whatever the hell they used to chant during the women's matches. They're actually entertaining. They're Charlotte, Sasha, Bailey. Alexa sucks. They're doing the stuff that they did for the guys. So they listen to Give Divas a Chance. So I think they would listen to other things if you would give a little bit. And going back to one of the things I think they need to do is they need to maybe be more flexible with their stuff. They do need to change Roman Reigns. He needs a heel turn. He really does. Maybe it gives him some. Now at this point, I gotta be honest with you. I don't know necessarily how they would turn him. At this point, I don't really know, because now people do like Braun Strowman. So maybe you say, could they do a double turn with Strowman and Reigns? Maybe you could, but they missed their opportunity. They missed their opportunity. What happened Monday night after WrestleMania, when all of those chants were going on, and he was sitting up there, and the other thing he said was, "This is my yard now." He dropped the mic and walked away. That was perfect. That should have set up later on that night. I tweeted this on Twitter. Later on that night, he should have attacked Sami Zayn and just power bombed him to hell. And make a complete turn face. But they wanted to do this program with Braun Strowman. So I just don't know how they're going to turn him heel, but he needs a heel turn. Hopefully it does come some point later on this year. I really do hope that does happen. For his sake more than anything. Because I think I really do think, and wrestling fans are stubborn. They don't want to, once they get down on somebody, they don't want to give them any credit. John Cena, they want to give John Cena credit. They don't want to give Roman Reigns credit. They don't want to give a lot of people credit when they get down on them. Oh, he got carried on this and he got carried on that. No. Roman Reigns, and they talk about worker, and they say, well, he can't work. No, Roman Reigns can go. Just because he doesn't throw suplexes, and just because he doesn't do, submission moves, doesn't mean he can't work. He gets in that ring and he goes. Sure. The Undertaker and thing on WrestleMania, the big stages the last 2 years have not looked good for him, without question. But he gets in that ring and he goes, especially on pay-per-views. He goes and he does fantastically in that ring. And the only reason why they think he's the guy. But he needs a heel turn, and I think that's one thing they need to do. They need to listen to him. So that would be one of my first things I think the WWE needs to change. They do need to be more flexible and while listening to the fans, because Vince always says that. So he said that on Stone Cold Podcast. We listen to the fans. Well, the fans are booing Roman Reigns. I think you should go ahead and let them boo Roman Reigns until they want to chant him, if they ever want to. Now, here's my thing. You turn him heel, and he's heel for, a year and a half to the 2 years, whatever he is, and you feel like he needs a face turn, the fans still might, chant him, still might boo him. But at that point, that's the fans being foolish, not you, the WWE. You know what I'm saying? So that really needs to happen. Let's go ahead and let's continue. I'm gonna go ahead and read my notes. I made some notes here for a minute. Okay. So how about this brand split, right? I've never been a fan of the brand split. I just haven't. Not when they did it first in 2001 when they bought WCW. Not a fan of it now. For me, if you're going to split the brand up, then you need to make another wrestling organization. I really do think that's what you're gonna do. They shouldn't be under the WWE. If SmackDown brand and Raw brand are gonna be two separate brands, then that's what it needs to be. It needs to be like NXT has become like a brand of its own. Then maybe you need to have like the WWE. You need to have something else, and then NXT, right? They can have their own titles, something like that. And that's one reason why I don't like the brand split, especially this one, because they give them titles. And I'm not one that says that so many titles ruin ruin the thing. I'm not one of those people that do to say that, but I do think that it's better for the product if there wasn't so many champions. So just have a tag champion, a women's champion, and the heavyweight champion go back and forth from shows like they were first doing on WWE when they did the brand in 2001. That's what they first had. They had the champion, whoever it was, went back and forth from Raw and SmackDown. The women's champion was like that, went back and forth from Raw and SmackDown. Now the tag champions were on Raw, but I would make the tag champions go back and forth, from SmackDown to SmackDown to Raw. If you're gonna do the brand split like the way you do it. Now how I would do the brand split, if I need to do a brand split, how I would do it is I would make it so that the shows were different. It would kind of be like what talent would be when they have to go to both shows and all like that, but it would be different. Like I would make Raw, since Raw's 3 hours, I would make Raw a storyline show. With the storyline show, you take the top 4 storylines, right? 4 or 5 storylines, and you progress them. And what you would do is that you would have, so let's just say let's go right now, right? The way this is right now. Your top 5 storylines, let's say, would be AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, Jinder Mahal. Let's say Reigns and Strowman, and let's say Ambrose and Miz, right? So I would have those 4 storylines as part of Raw. They would be on the part of the Raw storyline every Monday, right? Every Monday, and so like what you have them is you would have them. And then you have them wrestle other different kinds. So see, maybe what you would do is that you wouldn't have people on separate shows. Like for instance, I'm talking about, in case you don't understand what I'm saying, because I can understand, or maybe you might get confused by this. So let's say Sami Zayn, right? Sami Zayn in this type of brand split right now is on SmackDown. In my type of brand split, Sami Zayn, there is no SmackDown superstar, there is no Raw superstar. What it is the way it is happens is that you will work one show. We'll let you know the week before where you need to be so that you can go, right? So Saturday you call up, Sammy, yes, this is so and so and so. We got you scheduled in a match on Monday Night Raw. You're going to be going against Jinder Mahal. Okay, so go ahead and make your way to Nebraska for Monday Night Raw, and then we will see you back here Thursday on the road. Okay, all right, bam, and something like that, and then the same thing, and then you like that. You would call everybody like that. So then what you would do is you would progress their storylines, anything like that, and that's how you do it. You would progress it by, you would kind of be like the old school Raw, like the old school back in the day when it was 1 hour, right? So maybe The Miz would wrestle an enhancement talent guy. He wouldn't wrestle a superstar. He would wrestle an enhancement talent. Hit him, get in the ring, win, and then afterwards he cut a promo on Dean Ambrose. And then the same thing, Dean Ambrose would come out later in the night. He'd wrestle an enhancement talent guy. He'd cut the promo right back on The Miz. There would not be no interaction. That's another thing I think too. I enjoy that. I enjoy when two guys who are in a feud don't have a lot of interaction with each other. Because I think that's one of the things that does make this product like kind of not enjoyable. Is when you see the same match over and over again. Right? Now we have Dean Ambrose and Miz. We just saw Dean Ambrose and Miz on SmackDown, so now we're going to see it here on Raw, right? And it's like, wow, we just kind of just like saw this, right? But I think it could be fresh and new if they kept these ways, if they didn't interact with each other. Because the way they do things now is that at some point within the next month or so, Dean Ambrose and The Miz are going to wrestle at least twice. I can guarantee it. They're going to wrestle at least twice before they're supposed to wrestle at a pay-per-view for the Intercontinental title. They're going to wrestle at least twice in a tag match, in a 6-man tag match, something like that, whatever. And that's something that needs to stop. And that really needs to stop. I think just keep them away. So that's what I would do. I would make like things like that, have the Raw, have the enhancement talent, something like that. Or like I said, like I talked about with Sami Zayn, or if it's gonna be, if you're gonna use other wrestlers, then make it so that not every time. So maybe like this Raw. So maybe like this Raw, you would have Dean Ambrose wrestle. You'd have Dean Ambrose wrestle. Who else is on Raw? That I can think of a heel. Kurt Hawkins, right? Kurt Hawkins is kind of an enhancement talent already. But Dean Ambrose would wrestle Kurt Hawkins. He wrestle this week on Raw. He will not be on Raw next week. Because he'd wrestle. Right? And like The Miz would not be on Raw this week. He would be on Raw next week. And he would wrestle the face version of it. He would wrestle Curtis Axel. Right? And that's how it would be. So that's how I would use like that for Raw. And then SmackDown, since SmackDown is a 2-hour show, I would use SmackDown as more of a wrestling show, where it would be where more of the wrestlers would wrestle each other, so that it wouldn't be, and it would encounter wrestlers, all of the wrestlers, so that maybe you wouldn't see, so that, because you think about like the women's division, for instance, on Raw, it's 8 girls, right? Or 6 girls, right? Something like that, right? But in SmackDown it has all the girls, so it just wouldn't be Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks. It just won't be 6-man tag matches and all that thing. You could have Alexa Bliss versus Naomi, and then you could have Alexa Bliss, on one week, and then you could have Alexa Bliss versus Becky Lynch if you wanted it that way, something like, and vice versa with every woman, so that everybody gets a chance to wrestle each other. And it doesn't feel so stale, and you can also combine the enhancement talents on that too. Maybe have the opening match be like the enhancement talent match. For the women or the men or whoever, for tag teams, whoever. So that's how I do like that. And speaking of that, I would also even think about like they have a wait for the show for the cruiserweights. Which, by the way, I would just keep the cruiserweights on 205 Live in my world. They would not be on Raw, something like that. Especially if you're gonna change the goddamn ropes. I hate that. Just stop it. Keep all the cruiserweights on 205 Live and just keep them there. And I think that's that. What I probably would do is, I probably would even make that just keep them down in Florida with NXT. I probably would do that. Just keep them down in Florida with NXT. And Well, and then like do record 205 live, right? Like before NXT, and then change everything around, and then do NXT live, or if you're gonna do recorded, whatever. But just keep the cruiserweights on 205 live. And then I kind of do. I might do that with the women too. Just have the women have their own show, 1 hour show where you would have the three, you would do three matches and maybe one interview to keep that storyline progress, right? And then you can always come back and have them defend the title on the pay-per-view. So and I think some people might say, well, not everybody has a WWE network. They wouldn't be following along with the storylines and anything like that. Well, maybe that's the case, but I'm not saying, at least with the women, the cruiserweights. It's true. I want the cruiserweights off of Monday Night Raw. I don't want them on SmackDown either. I just want them to have their own show, because I think it may work better if they have their own show. How the women, however, the women would get the opportunity, especially if if they're one of the top 4 storylines, then it would be on Raw, or and of course they would do their thing on SmackDown as well. But then they would also have their own show where they could compete and showcase their talents. So I think that's how I would do a brand split type of thing, not the way it is right now. That's how my brand split would go. Going back to wrestling each other, like on a weekly type basis. Another thing I would do is I would get rid of the wrestler A and the wrestler B, who is the champion, in a number 1 contenders match. No. That's got to stop too. What we need to do here is we need to come up with some type of thing to determine the number 1 contenders. Well, however it may be, whether it's by fan voting. Now, obviously, the fans would, whatever. It work. You may put in a rule where if you can't be a number 1 contender for a title in back-to-back months or cycles or whatever, whatever that may be, because they would just want to keep that. Because if the fans voting, they would keep voting for their favorite. Roman Reigns would never get the number 1 spot, something like that. But something like that, or maybe do a Hall of Fame panel. Get you guys get Heartbreak Kid, Booker T, Jerry Lawler, and maybe JBL. I know he's not a Hall of Famer. He will be one day, although I don't know now shortly, because of all of this stuff going on around him. But get those guys and let them vote, and then let them vote on the number 1 contenders match. Let them vote on it. Obviously they really wouldn't do it, but we would just say that that's what they were doing. Those guys would be voting and then putting in the number 1 contenders match. Voting for the number 1 contender, like the Ray Kings thing, like they tried to do in TNA one time, which I thought was actually a great idea. I think that's kind of a ranking type system. Then I think there's also just go about it the way you used to, right? Pick 2 guys, wrestler A, wrestler B, who's not the champion. Let them have a number 1 contenders match, and then whoever that goes on to wrestle the champion. Or you do what they did just like this a couple of weeks ago on SmackDown. Do a beat the clock challenge, right? But they did that for the tag titles. The beat the clock challenge is, I think, a great gimmick. I think it works, right? It's easy to see. You pick your contestants. Whoever has the fastest time in beating their opponent becomes, the number 1 contender. I think that's a great way to go about it. So I really think you have 4 ways you can go there. You can go to fans. You can go a Hall of Fame panel, fan voting, a Hall of Fame panel votes. You can just do a regular match between 2 wrestlers who neither one is a champion, or you can do the beat the clock challenge. But either way, any one of those ways are better than wrestler A beating, wrestler B, who's the champion, for the opportunity to become the number 1 contender and a shot at the title. That thing, because for most of the time, that they've done that, Wrestler A wins, and it comes to pay-per-view, he loses or she loses. And it doesn't make any sense if you're going to do it like that. It's part of that 50-50 booking thing that, and listen, I don't know if WWE really I don't know if it's just the internet that calls it the 50-50 booking, or if WWE really actually has a thing called 50-50 booking, but that shit has to go too. I mean, that's a part of it. Let's get rid of that. Point blank period, end of discussion. Okay, yeah. The rematches. Pet peeve of mine. Again, you have a match at a pay-per-view, title match, and there's a new champion. Next night on Raw, or the next Tuesday on SmackDown, there's a rematch. No, you gotta stop with that. If you're gonna do the rematch either at the next pay-per-view, or if you want them to move on to another, then do the rematch 2-3 weeks later. Just don't do it the night after the pay-per-view, or the night, the night after the pay-per-view. If you're a SmackDown, again, because we're talking about seeing the same old shit, right? Because that's just the way that goes about it, and it becomes boring. Now, some things are not boring. Some of them, obviously, you get good wrestlers and they have good chemistry together. They can put on the same match. They can wrestle 5 straight days a week, Monday through Friday, and put on a 4-star match 5 different ways for each day, right? There's some wrestlers are like that. You get the chemistry and everything like that going, and that's who they are. But then there are some where it's just, they're good workers, but they have a limited skill set, and it's kind of the same way. You go about it the same way, and it gets kind of repetitive and redundant, and doesn't make any sense. So really, rematches need to be, like I said, either at the next pay-per-view or 2 to 3 weeks after the last pay-per-view. It really does. It can't be right. It can't be the next night on Monday Night Raw, or a day after on Tuesday Night SmackDown. It just can't be. That can't happen anymore. It really cannot. Let's see, I talked about the 30-day rule. I saw this on Twitter, actually. They mentioned that both Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton have surpassed the 30-day rule. Now, what used to be is that there was a 30-day rule where the wrestlers who were champions had to defend their title within 30 days of their last title defense. But because Brock Lesnar is a part-timer, and there's some other things, they just kind of like abandoned that rule. That was a good rule, I think, to have in wrestling, at least for the heavyweight champion. At least for the heavyweight champion. Now, if you can say that it wasn't going to be, maybe like for Intercontinental Champion, the United States Champion, maybe even the Tag Champion, and something like that. I can understand that. Sorry if I'm getting confused. I'm seeing things on my window, and I want to make sure that they're outside the window, not inside the window. It's inside my apartment, like bees and wasps and things like that. Anyway, so yeah, they are. So I think like the women's champion and the heavyweight champions, yeah, maybe you don't have the 30-day rule because maybe there are some things that's a little more different. Because I will say this. When Brock Lesnar held the World Heavyweight title, after he beat Cena in that 16 suplex match, I gotta be honest with you, that was kind of okay. It was kind of okay. Especially the way they do it. Because listen, Um, when you have a pay-per-view every month, and in some cases now with this brand split, you're having you're having pay-per-views maybe like not even every month. You have pay-per-views like every 2 or 3 weeks. You know, for Raw, one for SmackDown, things like that. You know, it can get kind of crowded, something like that. You know, back in the day when you had like the 4 pay-per-views, you know, it was okay because you had the title defense at Royal Rumble, you had a title defense at WrestleMania, you had a title defense at SummerSlam, you had a title defense at Survivor Series. So so you can understand why maybe like the 30-day rule wouldn't apply to the heavyweight champions because and you need to understand that. Right? You understand that maybe they're the title defense. And maybe even like the champions don't even need to defend their titles at some of the pay-per-views, right? Maybe the heavyweight champ, maybe the main event is a #1 contenders match, right? Or maybe it's like a tournament or something. You know, especially with all of these mini shows that they're doing. So yes, maybe the main event isn't necessarily another heavyweight title match versus anything rematch, right? Maybe it's this guy versus this guy in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the #1 contendership to Randy Orton's heavyweight title to Brock Lesnar's Universal title. Let's do that. So 30-day rule for the women's title, for the heavyweight title. I'm okay with them not having them, but in the Continental title, United States title, tag title, cruiserweight title, definitely should be a 30-day rule. So I think that's what they need to implement that back into the discussion. Let's look at I talked about the brand split. Oh yeah, and I would like going back to my things on the brand split. I would, even if they didn't do the brand split like I enunciated, I would still merge the titles. I would still one women's champion, one tag champion, one heavyweight champion. I don't mind the 2 secondary titles because I think that gives the Grand Slam award thing. I like that. I like that being the Grand Slam award winner. So and by the way, I think maybe I would do is maybe I would make the like the Intercontinental title. Maybe I would turn that into like a European title or something like that. Or some, bring that back into the fold because I don't think because the Intercontinental title is basically a United States title, but basically it's kind of like the things like the North America and South American title. They kind of merge them. That's how they get the Intercontinental title. It's kind of think do that, but listen, it's a the United States title. It's something that the NWA had. It wasn't created by the WWE. The Intercontinental title was created by the WWE, so you can understand why. Even though they want to keep the United States title, they're also keeping the Intercontinental title around as well. I have down here use of more talent. Now, I gotta be honest with you. They almost have too much talent. I don't know how much use they can get, or anything like that. But maybe what I think they can do is they can do more tag teams. Maybe they can do more stables. They can do more stables. Something like that. Because listen, that's what they had back in the late '90s. They had the Generation X. You had the Nation of Domination. You had DOA. You had Los Barriquas. You had all of these kind of stables that they had. So maybe there could be more stables. More tag teams. More of a lot of stuff. So we will see. But they should use more of their talent. I also have down here title matches. I'm trying to remember why I wrote down title matches. I don't know. Because I have like the rematches, you know. So I'm not sure what are the title matches, but let's just go off the cuff here and let's talk about title matches and what they do need to improve on there. And I do think one of the things that I think they do need to do is we talked about maybe spreading out the title matches, maybe not have the title defended on every pay per view. Having no problem with the champion being a part timer, like Brock or like it would be if Cena was doing it or something like that, or Goldberg. Um, the title not being defended on every pay per view. So I think maybe that's what I meant when I wrote down title matches. I was trying to think: is there anything that is wrong with the title match that they have right now? If you have any thoughts, maybe you post them down in the comment section. If you can think of about title matches, but I can't think of any right now. So before I end this, let me go real quick because I'm trying to see. Is there really anything? I think I've pretty much talked about everything that I think WWE needs to change. This is my opinion. This is what I would do if I was ahead of the WWE, in charge of the WWE. If I was Vince or Triple H, some of the things that I would do to try to make the WWE product better. And more enjoyable for fans. And like I said earlier, like us fans, we need to be a part of that too. We need to meet them halfway as well. We just can't say, well, listen, I don't like Roman Reigns because they're trying to make him into the next John Cena, and I don't like Cena, so I don't want Roman Reigns, and they take a spot away from Daniel Bryan, and so on and so on, and things like that. So. No, I mean, okay, so you know what? Roman may not be the guy that I want right now. But you know what? I'll cheer for him. I'll play along and I'll cheer for him. And then maybe somewhere down the line, maybe they'll do something that I really do something with him that will make me more interested in here. Give me a real reason to root for him, or will turn him heel, and then I can really boo him because he's a heel, and not because and not because I'm just booing him just because I'm frustrated with the WWE and the way they listen to us fans. And I really think that's part of the reason why. I think there's a big reason why they boo Reigns and Cena. I think for 3 reasons. I think one reason is that they're not booing them necessarily, but they're showing their displeasure with the product, right? They're saying, this product it's not where it should be with all this talent and all of this everything like that. I don't like the way they're doing it, so I'm taking their 2 best stars and I'm booing the hell out of them to show my disdain for this product right now. I think the second reason that the fans boo them is because they really do, feel like that they can't, go, and that's bunk. That's bunk right there. That's a wrong way to think. John Cena can go, Roman Reigns can go in that ring. Well, now there are, you can say, I've said this about Cena tons of times. Cena wrestles down low to his competition. He doesn't make guys like, he's not Shawn Michaels. There are not many a lot of Shawn Michaels, but there are things like Shawn Michaels can make. He can turn. As I was saying, he can wrestle a broomstick and it'll be a 3-star match. That's not John Cena. John Cena's never been that guy where he could take somebody and bring him up to his level and then they'd have a terrific match. There's not someone like that. He's not someone who can do that. Roman Reigns isn't that guy either, as we saw with The Undertaker. The Undertaker, in his kind of emaciated shape, something like that, wasn't able to necessarily have the match that. And then they tried it. They turned it into a no disqualification match. Still wasn't the thing that, Undertaker could hold his own, and Reigns just had to go with it. So, whatever. And I think The third and final reason is because they are. It is this feeling of someone being pushed onto them. Like, listen, we don't think Roman Reigns is the guy right now. We think it should be Finn Balor. We think it should be Seth Rollins. We think it should be AJ Styles. It shouldn't be Cena, and Roman Reigns. So we're gonna boo them, you know, just because. And so I think there's a lot of reasons, but I think again, if we're fans, if we give a little bit, I think maybe WWE would give a little bit too. So I think it's a kind of a 50-50 thing there with us fans in the WWE. Okay, so I think that's it for me right now. I think like I said, I wrote this list about a week or so ago, and so I think that I've pretty much gone over everything that I think maybe need to change with the WWE. But I really do feel more than anything, I really want to hear from all the wrestling fans out there down in the comment section, because I know you guys are passionate, just like I am. You guys like want to see different things. So let me know down in the comment section what you guys would like to see when it comes to the WWE. What you would like to see change? What would you like to see happen? What would you like to see go? What do you think of my comments? What do you think of my thoughts about certain things? The brand split, the title matches, the rematches, the divisions, certain divisions, and everything like that. Let me all know down in the comment section. I really want to hear you guys. I really do think you guys. This is going to be a big conversation topic for all of us. And I think us as a wrestling community, I think we just want to see WWE be what it is. Because if you haven't noticed, and I saw this last night, basically I saw this on Twitter. I guess the guy, the lead singer from the Kings of Leon, asked all of us adults to stop watching professional wrestling. And boy, did he get a response from the wrestling community? So, and it is kind of getting like that. Why while John Cena's on the Today Show and ESPN covers this, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and all of the wrestling events and everything like that. While they're doing all of this, and I mean, we have wrestlers going on People.com and talking to their people and everything like that. And Darren Young is getting interviewed a couple years ago about him coming out to TMZ and everything like that. It is starting to feel like there is a little bit of more backlash coming back on as being a wrestling fan. Like if you're a wrestling fan, it kind of that backlash is starting to come back around, and I kind of do feel that maybe that's because of the product that WWE puts out there right now. Maybe it could be our fault as well. Who knows? But that's topic for another day. Alright? So I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like this video, share it with all your family and friends. See, again, that's a bird. The bird was into my house. I got my windows closed. I do have the air conditioner on, but I have my windows closed. But I thought the bird was in my house. Really did. I apologize. Like the video, share it with all your family and friends, especially share it with all your wrestling folks. Make sure you subscribe. On here, you get wrestling, you get sports, you get reaction videos, you get my thoughts, you get everything. I think soon you're going to have pop culture stuff as well. A lot of things coming on this channel I think you guys will truly enjoy. So that's it for me right now. I'm your boy AJ Tripp, signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.